And I wish that I could just stand up here and say, well, you know, all the dinosaurs died out because of blank. But the reality is we don't know for sure.
But we do. We definitely know that the climate changed on the Earth drastically. We know that the dinosaurs couldn't adapt fast enough, so they ended up dying off. Now, as far as the exact ways in which they died off, like after the asteroid hit, which we definitely know happened, what else changed? We're still figuring things out, but for the most part, we know that the climate changed drastically. That's what killed the dinosaurs. The asteroid that hit the Earth is the most likely culprit for this drastic change in climate.
And I don't have a problem looking at you saying we don't know for sure. Now, there's lots and lots of theories. The one that your children are going to hear about the most in their textbooks is that asteroid or that meteorite hitting the Earth.
Well, yes, they are going to hear about that because that is what all the evidence leads us to. We know that the dinosaurs died out between 65 and 66 million years ago. We have the remnants of the asteroid strike. We know the composition of the asteroid that hit the Earth. Like, we have all of this evidence. I do want to point out here, though, that when it's a very difficult question for your fundamentalist view to account for, it's okay to not know something. But as soon as we venture outside of like, shucks, I don't know. I mean, shit, it could have been anything. Oh, fuck, they could have died from hemorrhoids. We're not sure. As soon as we venture outside of that to say like, the beginning of the universe or any kind of thing or process that happens in reality, you're so quick to just say God did it. It's kind of amazing how you all of a sudden play the ignorance card when it comes to the dinosaurs' extinction, but everywhere else you're fine just blaming God with it. Why don't you just say, well, I don't know how God did it, but I do know it was God's plan. Definitely, God is the one that killed those motherfuckers.
But to me, that really causes more questions than it does answers. Because how do you selectively kill stuff on the other side of the planet? Like, for instance, how do you selectively kill just the dinosaurs and leave the amphibians?
When he's talking about selectively, I'm guessing he's wondering why didn't the asteroid kill all life on Earth instead of just the larger dinosaurs and all these other species that couldn't adapt quick enough to the changing environment. Small mammals and amphibious and aquatic life could have escaped the drastic rise in heat created by the impact of the asteroid. Also, the dietary requirements of these animals allowed them to eat various things that did not include all of the plant life that had been seared off of the Earth. Mammals, while not aquatic, they could have went into underground burrows and hid out while the surface temperature of the Earth was at an unbearable level. While these small mammals and aquatic life and amphibious life could have survived these drastic levels, the large dinosaurs just simply couldn't. Even if they could, though, all the plant life on the face of the Earth would have died out from the immense amount of heat generated by the asteroid slamming into the Earth. So even if the large herbivores or any of the herbivores could have survived, they wouldn't have been able to live because they wouldn't have food to eat. And then that also trickles down or up, however you want to think about it, to the carnivorous dinosaurs. They wouldn't have been able to survive either because they wouldn't have had anything to eat there as well because the herbivores would have died out. So regardless of how you come at it, science has already explained how, quote-unquote, selectively the asteroid could have killed all of the dinosaurs but left some amphibians, mammals, and other aquatic life
on the other side of the planet. I'm aware of about 27 theories of what killed the dinosaurs. I brought roughly 5 of them with me. Again, the chief being that asteroid hitting the Earth. Number 2, an exploding star flooded the Earth with intense radiation, resulted in fatal mutation for dinosaur offspring. Number 3, the Earth's climate became too warm, too cold, too dry, or too wet for the dinosaurs' health. Number 4, change in the dinosaurs' diet resulted in weakened eggshells that broke after being laid. Sad to say, number 5 is a scientific theory, and that is that a laxative plant in the dinosaurs' diet disappeared and they all died of constipation.
So I don't know where he's getting any of this information. For all that I can tell, Brad has just pulled these out of his ass. Could there be some nuggets of truth in what he's saying? Well, yeah, sure. But currently what we know about the Cretaceous Tertiary extinction event, or the KT extinction event, is that the asteroid hit the Earth. That drastically changed the environment. It also kicked up a lot of dust, which eventually blocked out the sun, and temperatures rose on the Earth to unbearable levels. Now, from what we can tell, the population of dinosaurs on this Earth was declining prior to the extinction event, but it was the extinction event that finally wiped them out. Now, whether or not these other hypotheses really had any kind of bearing on the dinosaurs, it doesn't really matter, because what you need to know is that an asteroid definitely fucked the dinosaurs up. But also, the list of 5 things that he has here are natural explanations. These are all very reasonable to assume that, like, oh, maybe a certain plant went extinct and they weren't able to poop, and so they all died or something like that. As ridiculous as that might sound, a change in an animal's dietary requirements, they can either adapt and change to mitigate that, or they'll just die out. And that's a perfectly natural and reasonable explanation. Was it the thing that killed the dinosaurs? Most likely not, because of the asteroid. But the fact that it's a natural explanation makes it many, many more times likely than God flooding the Earth and then whatever in the fuck you think happened after that. Because I can guarantee you it's some kind of magical shit.
I will let you decide if that one is possible, probable, or pitiful.
Yeah. I don't know what's up with these preachers using alliterations in order to sound more convincing. I've noticed that, like, fucks like Greg Locke do it too. They pull alliterations out of their ass either to get a laugh out of the crowd or to make it sound like they're smarter than they actually are. None of these are pitiful hypotheses. You know what I think is pitiful? Just saying God did it. That's what I think is pitiful.